Hello to all the comic fans, Marvel geeks, and all the nerds in between. Today we are going to break down the first episode of What If Season 3. And when I say we, I mean myself, Megan Nicole from Vigilante Vibes podcast, and someone very special to me, and someone who is also a part of the Nerd Initiative team, LJ from Bleeding Rainbow Comics.
Hello. Yes, that is me, LJ from Bleeding Rainbow Comics, Nerd Initiative, and all of the fun nerdy spaces.
It's very true. Some of you are familiar with LJ because he is the one who went live with me with Wen from Bleeding Rainbow Comics, and we are sending our best wishes to Wen because they are going through it with COVID right now.
Yes, both of us currently have COVID, and if you listen really carefully, you can hear Wen upstairs coughing his lungs out. So that's fun. Like, even with headphones, I can still hear it.
I think I heard like it a slight bit, and I was like, "Oh, that poor thing."
Don't worry, that'll be this entire video.
So, What If Season 3, Episode 1, titled What If the Hulk Fought the Mech Avengers, opens with a cartoon revealing, in this reality, the Hulk unleashes monsters across the Earth, and Iron Man responded by creating a team of giant robots to combat them. So the Gamma War began with Sam Wilson met Bruce Banner in Washington, D.C. Sam convinced Bruce to join his group therapy sessions to deal with the trauma of being the Hulk, and the two soon became friends. However, when Bruce hulked out in front of Sam, he fled and tried to use the Gamma to remove the Hulk once and for all. But like any science experiment that is done out of emotion, it failed. Instead, it created the Apex, a rampaging beast capable of spawning an army, which creeped me out when they all came out of his back. I did not like that.
My first reaction was, oh no, he got wet, because it reminded me of Gizmo from the...
Gremlins.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Gremlins. Yeah, sorry. Brain not here currently.
You're doing great.
No, that was great. That was one of the parts I liked of this episode. I was like, oh no, it's Gizmo time.
It made me itchy. I was just like, oh, gross. But it's Apex. It's going to be gross. The original 6 Avengers assembled in giant Hulkbuster armor, but were eventually killed by the creatures. 10 years later, we learn they finally vanquished, and Sam Wilson is the leader of a team of heroes. This consists of Monica Rambeau, Bucky Barnes, Moon Knight, Red Guardian, Melina, Shang-Chi, and Nakia. The Apex has somehow returned, something Sam and Monica discover when they head to the Arctic. The latter has tasked Bucky with finding Bruce, and despite initially being reluctant, Cap agrees to seek his help on the Astra Islands, where the former Avenger has gone into hiding. They talk, but Bruce refuses to get involved with the fight. Instead, he provides Sam with the Mighty Avenger Protocol, which will allow the team's mechs to combine into one gigantic robotic Avenger. And he originally was going to use this on himself because it's all about Bruce all the time. But the Mech Avenger assembles and lays waste to Apex's army. Unfortunately, he's still too strong for the team, but it's then that Bruce returns. Strapping himself inside a gamma bomb, he becomes a Godzilla-like Mega Hulk and uses an atomic gamma from his mouth to kill the Apex after literally a helping hand from Sam. So, what did you think of this episode?
Honestly, I think that your recap was more entertaining than the episode itself. I, too, my toxic gamma from my mouth has done wonders on murdering people. Overall, because I try to approach everything from a positive fan perspective, and so this one was kind of difficult for me, to be honest. I did like the concept. I think it was creative. How can we merge Avengers with Power Rangers and Godzilla? Like, they clearly had a strong, what do I want to say, a vision.
Inspiration?
For this one, yes. Yes, however, I think that it was too complex for what it needed to be. I think that having such a different vision for it, but also having it be the original Avengers, but now they're gone and now we're fast forwarded through. I think we needed to simplify it a little bit for it to really work. The first half of the episode felt like, and it was just exposition getting us to the meat of the episode itself. I mean, as somebody who's not super into Power Rangers and all that good stuff, I just there this episode just personally wasn't for me. I'll say I was super excited for it because I love Monica Rambeau, I love Moon Knight, I love Shang-Chi. But I think that the thing that disappointed me most in this episode was how sidelined the characters were, and it was all about the mechas, which yeah, I get it. But now I'm worried, like, is that the only Monica we're gonna get? Is that the only Moon Knight we're gonna get? Like, was that it? So for me, it left stuff to be desired, but I recognize that maybe it's just not for me, and that's okay.
I think we're gonna get Monica again because she is in the trailer in another scene. It's a red scene. Like I can see it in my head, but I don't. That's all I got. But I agree. If the Marvel characters were not in this episode, it would not feel like a Marvel product because it took so much inspiration from Godzilla, Pacific Rim, Power Rangers. It was just kind of like the love child of all those things. And it was like, it just wasn't that strong of an opening for the final season of What If.
Yeah, and I felt like with all of that, there was no Marvel left at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Like, I could have excused it if we spent a little bit less time on exposition and, like, God forbid, somebody used some type of power at least once in this thing. I do think also part of my issue with it is that we've centered around the Hawk a couple of times on What If now and gamma radiation, and I feel like it wasn't different enough and marvelly enough to be warranted. I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, it does. I feel like
You're gonna say no, it doesn't, but okay.
No, it does. It's another Hulk thing where Bruce hates himself so much, and he's like, "You don't know what it's like." And you're like, "Yes, we do, Bruce, because that's all you talk about. It's your personality now."
Correct.
Like, come on, man, be cool. This whole thing happened because of you, and then you're gonna dip. Leave this problem to everyone and then be like, oh my God, it's happening again. That's so weird. And it's like, Bruce, get over yourself. Also, in the group therapy session, I got a good laugh when Sam said, no one's afraid of you, Bruce. And then it pans out and like no one's sitting beside Bruce. Everyone has a healthy distance.
Like, actually, I beg to differ. No, I don't know. I feel like we're setting up for more Hulk action in the MCU, and so I could have just waited for New World Order, I think, for more Hulk anything. But they have all these new great characters, and I really want to see them actually use them and not them just be in the background. Or, I mean, this episode did a really good job at showing Sam as a leader, which I think that was the goal of this episode, was to kind of get people's brains around, okay, Sam is the new Cap now. Which, I mean, for that, it did fine. It had such great characters in it, and we didn't spend any time with any of them, and that hurt my heart.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I think it was made, well, first of all, to be very different, to show, like, other things can happen rather than a Thanos or an Ultron. But it's like, but we like those things,
happened.
though, Marvel. Like, come on, man. Get it together. But I think it does show.
Yeah, I did not need Hulkzilla.
I didn't need it. I didn't want it and ask for it. I didn't need it. Someone did, though. Someone out there is into it. Good for you. But
I mean, honestly, if we were going to do a Hulkzilla, why didn't we just do Maestro Hulk at the end of time? Like, that's something I don't think we'll ever get in the MCU. And I feel like that's what we should be using What If for. Is to explore stories that maybe we just would never get to in the MCU. I mean, granted, what if this happened? What if that happened? The thing that I like about some episodes of What If and what I don't like about some episodes of What If is it's supposed to stem from a question. And the first, like, season and a half really took it as, what if this happened instead of this? And I don't really see the what if this happened instead of this in this episode. I feel like this is just completely, what if we added Power Rangers into our writing?
Oh my gosh!
Like,
right.
I like the Doctor Strange one. What if Doctor Strange lost his heart? And so it was that one instance, that one event that changed the course. And that's kind of like, that's what I like about What If.
You're absolutely right. It didn't have that, did it? even the name of of this episode was "What if Hulk fought the Mech Avengers?" When did he fight the Mech Avengers?
I will probably never watch this episode again, so never for me.
Yeah, it like in the episode, I didn't see him fighting off the Avengers. I don't think so, but it just. I hope this is just one of those episodes that really has nothing to do with anything else. It's just kind of like getting our feet wet because what it looks like there are some banger of episodes like the one tomorrow. What if Agatha goes to Hollywood? And it's like, you know damn well that's about to be the favorite of the season because it's Agatha.
Uh-huh. Well, the funny thing is when you look online about anything Marvel, Star Wars, whatever related right now, there's the likes, the hearts, and the laugh reacts. And what's really surprising is not just on like the Nerd Haven, where there's just generally not a bunch of people that laugh react at not funny things, but on like the general Marvel stuff, I'm seeing like more likes and hearts and stuff for Agatha. And I'm like, yes, she's beaten it.
I know.
Of course, there'll always be bleep heads out there, but I feel like the general consensus, I can't say my N's or my M's right now very good.
It's okay.
We're trying. But I feel like it's something more to look forward to. And I think that this episode really wasn't a broad stroke for Marvel fans. But given Agatha's popularity this year, I think that maybe tomorrow's episode will be. But also it's like Hollywood, Broadway looking things. And that's not everybody's thing either. So I will stand on my little what if soapbox of not every episode is supposed to be for you. And you might have a couple episodes that are really for you. This one just wasn't for me. Tomorrow, 100% is for me.
Yes, I agree. I agree. This wasn't an episode for me either. It just didn't feel like a Marvel What If episode. It, like you said, we didn't really get the characters. How are you going to give me Moon Knight, but not give me Moon Knight?
Mm-hmm.
Rude.
And that's my biggest problem with it is everything that we love about the characters that were in the episode was not there. So Monica Rambeau in her relationships or just her powers, because they're really cool and we've barely gotten to see them. Sam did not use his wings once. Moon Knight, his dissociative identity disorder wasn't represented whatsoever. So that's what I'm saying. It's really a Power Rangers Godzilla episode, but using a skin of Marvel. And I don't, for me personally, it does not work. And if it works for other people, cool. I'm more than happy for you.
Like, I'm not convinced in this reality any of these characters actually have powers. Because they weren't referenced to. Nothing.
Other than the Hulk. Like, maybe that's why they have the mecha suits. But because they didn't make the mecha suits until the original Gamma War. And so the original event, like, maybe Anthony Mackie just like never got wings in this one because he had a mecha suit and didn't need them. And maybe these Avengers were just like, hey, can you like control a giant robot? You're on the team.
I think
that's why Alexi's in the background. He could never figure it out.
He's just such a shining star no matter where he is. Even in an episode I didn't like, he's just so good. And like,
that's what I'm saying. I didn't care for this episode, but I loved every character in the episode. And for you to not make me connect with the characters that I love, I'll get off on my negative soapbox. I'm sorry. Positive fan experience.
I mean, it's your opinion. Nothing bad about having a negative opinion about it. It's not like you're saying, I hated it because Sam Wilson will never be Cap, you know? It's not like that.
I know.
Just like,
I just hate crapping on anything when the internet's doing a good enough job of that on their own.
That's true. But
that's why I'm like, somebody out there, they were like, this episode is God tier, and I'm so happy for you that you got what you needed. And they love Godzilla, they love Power Rangers, and they love Marvel, and I'm really glad that they got this once in a lifetime team up because this would have never been possible if not for What If. So I'm happy for that. I'll say those people. I hate when they're like, oh, all 20 people will enjoy this.
I hate when people say that. I hate it so much. But
well, that's what they said about Agatha all along, and look where we are.
True.
All 20 people that are looking forward to this, I'm happy for you.
I
Shut
think
up.
this episode very well could have been setting up to like why we don't see the Hulk in the rest of the show, because they do have it oddly connected, which never has made sense to me because it's what if. It's in different
Yeah.
realities. Why are they okay, whatever. We
Okay,
didn't
though.
get Captain
Here-
Carter. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, though, on the other side of that, I actually like that they did that and just showed all of these backstories and then connected them for like one episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Captain Carter and I love The Watcher. So the fact that I don't want anything from this episode to come back for whatever the big bad of this season is.
Okay.
Like, I'm all for showing where all of these characters come from and then they team up because the Watcher needs them. Okay, cool. That's a cool concept to me.
Yeah.
But they have to be characters that you want to see again and that you want to not only are cool in that final episode, but they're cool in their respective episode. Like Kahorti. Oh my God. I want her in live action yesterday. Captain Carter, I want a real version, not just one that dies in 3 seconds in Multiverse of Madness. But there are some really cool things that they're doing in What If, and they're taking some big swings, and with some big swings, sometimes you get big misses, and that's okay, because we got some pretty cool stuff, like Evil Doctor Strange. That was cool.
Yeah.
Like,
And that carried over into live action.
and not everything for What If is for me, and that's okay too. Like, all of the throwback 1602 or whatever it was, like, that featured Avengers Prime, like Iron Man, Captain America, whatever. I've seen enough of them. But they always do Wanda dirty, and that's all I want for What If, is to have Wanda more featured in an episode.
And put some respect on her name.
Yes, please. Can
That's
somebody
all.
respect her?
So, all in all, what would you give it out of a 10?
Out of a 10? Mm-hmm. Oh, God. See, this is the part that I was hoping to avoid.
You don't have to. You can just say.
I have to. I'm a professional. Okay. I will.
That's true.
Honestly, like a 5.5.
I'm giving it a 4, so you're good.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I don't feel as bad. Well, I've never given anything a 5.5 or lower. So, like, I think 6.5 is the lowest I've ever given anything, and that's just the teacher in me, because I'm like, no, 50% means you fail. Which,
I get it. I'm super
feel like they
generous. I'm super generous with mine too, so totally get it. So giving something a 4 is like, Megan, you monster. But at the same time,
yeah,
it's
I'm pretty sure the last thing that I reviewed was Wicked, and I gave that a 10 out of 10. So coming from that, I'm like, okay.
I think that's fair. So that's our review. Stick around for the next week as we review each and every episode of What If Season 3. Stick around for tomorrow for Agatha Goes to Hollywood. You will see us probably light up with excitement. Wherever you're watching or listening to this episode, be sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our reviews or all the exciting content in between. You can find me everywhere by searching Vigilante Vibes Podcast, or make it easy and just visit vigilantevibespodcast.com. LJ, where can we find you?
You can find me for Nerd Initiative. You can find me at Bleeding Rainbow Comics, both on YouTube and on Facebook. You can find me in whatever link tree is posted wherever for this video. Just search up Bleeding Rainbow Comics, and if something looks like it's a comic book or has my face on it or a weird rainbow cloud thing, that's probably me.
So you can find both of us on nerdinitiative.com, where we give our reviews for the latest movies, TV shows, and comics. Thank you for tuning in. See you tomorrow. Have a marvelous day.